To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. Okay, so today, gonna check out the well, make sure it's working correctly. Today it rained really hard this morning. The whole area was flooded. The area where the floor of the well is here, the well house, there's gonna be a well house here eventually. It was flooded. A really good strong spring storm is what we got. So that's exactly what I need to make sure that what I've done here is working. But before I do that, I want to show you something Carolyn came up with, and it's working perfectly. So you know that I made a chicken run out of 1/2-inch PVC pipe. So we put our chickens in here during the day, and it works really well. The animals aren't getting into it, but we needed to figure out a way to cover the top. I was going to use chicken wire, but the problem with the chicken wire is, with it being 1/2-inch PVC pipe, it really wasn't that sturdy. Now I used 1/2-inch so we can move it around real easy. I can move this around by myself, basically just kind of fold it up and move it. The other reason I use PVC, I didn't glue it or anything, is if I want to take it apart, I can take it apart. Use zip ties. Well, she found this bird netting. It's to keep birds out of koi ponds, is what it's supposed to do. And it works out great. The chickens seemed more secure with it on. They were looking up at it, seeing what she was doing when she was putting it on. So during the day, the chickens come into the chicken run, and at night we put them back in the chicken coop. Now it rained today, so we're just leaving them in the chicken coop today. I feel bad when we do that, but come out here and be stuck in the rain all day, that's just not nice either. So, okay, I want to get back on the well. Now I know I've said a lot of this before and I'm repeating myself, but you know, we're kind of wrapping up the well project is what we're doing. The only thing I really got left is to build a well house. That's not going to take a lot of time. But as you know, I've been dealing with dirty water for almost a year from our well. The well casing has cracked is what the problem was. So what a well casing is a big steel pipe. What they do is they drill a hole with a truck into the ground 100 feet. They hit bedrock, hit water, and once they hit water, they go down a little bit further so you can get your pump down into it. And then when they're done drilling, they take this steel pipe, 6.5 inches in diameter, or 6.25 inches, and they drive it down so the dirt doesn't fall in on the well. And all the groundwater, well, it got a crack in it. That was problem number one. Problem number two was the well casing only came up to the edge of the floor here. So water could come down in it and flood it, and water would drain right into the well. I even used this coffee can as a temporary measure to keep the water from going down into the well. I don't know how well that worked. I realized once I started taking it all apart that the seal I used to seal the coffee can up against the well casing wasn't sealing very well. So my water has been very dirty. I would have to start the well pump up when it was dirty, flush the well out, it takes about 10 minutes, 5 minutes, wait an hour, flush it out again, wait an hour, flush it out again, so about 3 times you would flush it out. And by the 3rd time you got all the dirt out of the water, out of the clean bedrock water, and then you could fill your tank or whatever you're going to do. See, I fill a 275 gallon IBC tank, and we would put bleach in it. Now, if you're worried about bleach, look that up. It's on the FDA's webpage. Tells you all kinds of things you can do if you have a problem with your water. You can boil it, you can put iodine in it, you can put bleach in it. We just put bleach in ours, and they tell you how much. And that also keeps the moss and the fungus out, you know, the green algae, I guess is what it is. And then we Berkey our drinking water. So we have a Berkey water purification system that we use to drink our water. So the entire year, we've really worked hard at getting water. But in the end, I haven't complained too much because we do have a piece of property with a well that isn't dry, it's just dirty. So my first attempt last year to fix this problem, one of the web pages I read said the concrete on the floor may be damaged, and it was horribly damaged. So I reconcreted the floor, and it didn't work. I mean, it didn't help. I mean, of course now I have concrete like I'm supposed to, but it didn't help. The second option was you have to buy this well packer. And like I said, I got videos on this, and I'd like for you to check them out if you haven't, how I did it. But what you do is you put a piece of PVC pipe here, glue it to the well packer, and you lower it down. So the crack was about 14 feet down. And how the crack forms, usually, you know, this is a 50-year-old well, so they don't last forever. The well casings don't. These roots and things may have just bumped right into it and broke the well casing. It's steel. Well, the well casing goes down about 30 feet. So you take that well packer with your PVC pipe and you just keep lowering it down. You have to use a come along. We used a come along. You can use a piece of equipment to push it down. You just push it down till the end of the well casing. Don't go past the well casing, right to the end of it. And then I concrete this so everything was nice and secure. It doesn't move around now. That also helps keep the groundwater out. So now you got this inch gap all the way around in between the well casing and the PVC pipe that dirty water and dirt and everything's falling into, and that's going to fill up. The concrete's going to keep the well packer from falling down. Of course, you don't have to do that. It's just what I did. I've tied off the well pump to the PVC pipe here. The entire weight of the well pump is on this. So today, I'm going to do something I've never done. I'm going to try to fill my water tank on a day that it rained. That was an impossible, you couldn't do it before. You have to wait 2 or 3 days after it would rain because the ground is saturated. And so as soon as you would flush the well, more dirty water would fall down into it. So today we're going to test it, see if it's clean. If it's clean, I'm going to fill the IBC tank, which doesn't need a lot of water, but we're just going to do it just because I can say, hey, I did it. So I'm going to start with the generator. We're going to fill a bucket, see if the water looks clean. Okay, so this is how I test to see if the water is visually clean. Is I fill a bucket of water, and if it's dingy looking or green looking or brown looking, then I know that it's not clean. Well, I can already see that this is clean, so this is doing really well. Now, there's something I want to mention is if you're going to work on your well for any reason, you need to do what they call is shocking the well. And the way you shock the well is you literally pour bleach down your well, you stir it up. The way I would do it is I just stick the hose back down the well so it would recirculate back into the well. And then you wait 24 hours. And I might do that in the next month or so after I'm confident that this is going to work. See, it's going to rain again today at 3 o'clock, 100% chance. So I want to have several good rain events to make sure that the well's clean before I go and shock the well, because it's just useless if you're getting groundwater into it to keep shocking it. Now, the other thing they say is you're supposed to shock your well once a year. And that just kills any bacteria or mold growth or anything that's growing. So yeah, I can see that this is really clean water. This is good. Okay, so now I'm going to hook it up to the hose. I have a hose here that I hook it up to, and I run it through a house filter, and I'll continue to run the house filter indefinitely. I have no reason not to stop using it. So I got this house filter, and you can buy the filter casing, probably 30 bucks at Walmart, and the little filter's like $2 or $4 a piece, something like that. Okay, so in this box I have a wooden box here. I have a IBC tank, 275 gallons, and you can buy these pretty cheap. I mean, you can buy them new, for, I don't know, 200 bucks, but used, you can always find them used everywhere. Make sure it's food grade, because there's some that's chemical grade, but they always specify, especially if you're gonna buy it new. Okay, and I just fill it up with water, of course, and then I'm gonna put some bleach in it. And I try to avoid telling you how much bleach to put in it. You may hear the pump running. That's the RV pump that pumps water into the house. Carolyn loves to do that when I'm trying to make a video. Every time I make a video, she seems to turn on the pump. So I have an RV pump down here that pumps water from the IBC tank into the house, about 3 gallons a minute, I think it is. And so we have an on-demand propane water heater in there that it pumps right into. And we use that propane water heater for everything. The dishes, the showers. We have a sink that we can move inside the shower and pull out to do our dishes. And so the RV pump runs off 12-volt battery. So I have a little lawnmower battery in there that I put a battery tender on it. Of course, I could have bought a converter, but in the end, it would have cost a ton of money, and this was just a real simple way of doing it. So a battery tender, a lawnmower battery runs the RV pump. The battery tender is ran off our inverter down there in the camper. So what I do is I put a cap full of bleach in. That represents a tablespoon. Again, do your own research on how much bleach to put into it. I tell you, one of the hardest things I've had to do on the off-grid property is learn the well. Again, I try to be very independent. That's part of my philosophy about being off-grid, is being independent. You know, electric, water, sewer, and being independent, financially free, all those things are kind of what I consider off-grid. Learning the well was a real challenge for me. It still is a challenge. And no matter who you ask, somebody will give you a different answer. You can ask well experts, the well packer, understanding all that information, real challenge. But I think this is key to my freedom, is if I hired someone to come out here and fix this well, I can guarantee you the words out of their mouth would be, you need a new well. So $6,000, plus the visit to come out here to tell me that. So that would have been $2,000. So I hope I can inspire you to learn something new when you're living your dream. Thanks for watching.